go get it. Photo poor, so photogenic. All my life I've been a go-getter. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Photo poor, so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter. All I know is to go get it. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with Harris. Knocks over another. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Got an open man. It's Pickens. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
2nd and 2. Harris running straight ahead. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Looking to throw, Pickett. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. A nice completion there for the first down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action Week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw taken in by Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down. But give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We're moving right to veteran and continue from there.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
On 2nd and 2, Pickett. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, pumped down. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expected to go. And I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control. And that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. Here we go. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go.
12.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 1, right?
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
11 MT, take. 11 MT, 11 MT.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
But dropping it off underneath, here's Pirine. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Here we go.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
12.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Burrow will throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Empty. Stop.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. First and 10, here's Pickett. This is Miller, complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in Week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top roll, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they wanted to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Pickett to throw on first down. Finds Pickens out right. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Pickett now on first down. On the right side, this is Miller. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. They run straight ahead with Snell. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jet sweep. Here's Pickens with it. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Pickett. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that's a tough one for the defense because the coverage was good downfield. He was forced to work his way out of the pocket to his right, spotted his man on the sideline, and got it to him to pick up the first down on 3rd down.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Again, it's Harris, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Pickett will look to throw it here. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six from Bengals TD.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Pickett back to throw. Completes it to Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Rolling to his right. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, here's Pickett. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To the air on first down with Pickett. This is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
His throw incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down.
Here we go. Here we go. 11, 11. 11 mighty. 11 mighty.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he whips that one incomplete there. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Here we go, here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Burrow. And that's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Here we go,
so
here we go.
Back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
11.
Now it's Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
11.
Play action. It's Burrow. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 10 now, Burrow. And this is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw.
Here we go.
Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On third down, Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
A torn ACL cost George Pickens most of his final season at Georgia, but he did return for the college football playoffs and had an impact. And in his first 2 years there, wow. Led the Bulldogs in touchdowns both seasons. Had people thinking he could be a first-round pick. The ceiling is huge with this kid. Nice pickup there for a first down.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
But he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now here is another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 15. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Starting the drive with Snell. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2nd and 5 now. Pickett. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Try him with Pickett here on 3rd down. Open man is Miller. He's got it. He's got the first down and more. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They hand this off to Harris. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13. Pickett. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So a nice throw there. And, CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
You know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come and with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. George Pickens with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
On 2.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Benny Snell. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 18 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The Bengals drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Burrow will throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Montravius Adams in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way.
Here we go.
And they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On second down, it's Snell. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Pick it now, 3rd and goal. They'll roll him out right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room.
And, my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8. Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 62 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pickett sets up play action. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Runs over it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run again with Harris. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Let's go now.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Steelers, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.